Welcome back to Rockstar 101. His name is Brandon. He's the DJ.
His name is Shim. He is the Rockstar. Class is in session. And the day this episode drops is a very special day because it's Isaac Hanson's birthday.
That's right. Did we talk about this?
I've been waiting for this day because Shim, as we know, if you listen to Rockstar 101 on a regular basis, is a big, gigantic fan of the band Hanson.
I'm not a big, gigantic fan.
Hanson,
That's not.
Who I believe was the older brother. I think he was the oldest of the Hanson clan there. It's his birthday. Although, actually, you know what? No, not today. I'm sorry. Not today. It's tomorrow, actually. November 17th is Isaac Hanson's birthday. So, coming up a little bit later on the show, I am going to quiz Shim on the band Hanson. Okay. I have no idea how difficult the questions are because I don't know the band Hanson all that well. I don't really know how well Shim knows the band. I just know he was a huge fan of Mbop. Is that right?
Yeah, that should be precursed. I was a big fan of one song when I was 10. Not Shim is a massive Hanson fan, full stop, let's now start a quiz. And don't get me wrong, this is the thing that pisses me off, right? Let's fucking do it. Let's do it, okay? Yes. Before we do that, run a couple of socials, Brandon. What are the socials for people that want to ask questions? If you've got a question about Shim's knowledge of Hanson or whatever, it's...
Well, I was going to get to the socials here in a minute because we are going to get to some social media questions that we've received. But if you ever want to hit up Shim, you can find him on Facebook. It's just Shim. You can find him over on Twitter. It is at @ShimMoore. And you can find me over on Reddit or on Instagram at @TheRealBrandalorian. You can shoot us a message. And any topic, question, or anything that you might want discussed on Rockstar 101, feel free to fire away. So we're going to get to some of those questions coming up here in a few minutes, but it feels like we've struck a nerve with Shim a little bit. So fire away.
Here's the thing. This is the problem, okay? People don't pay enough respect to Hanson, okay?
Yeah.
Because
you said that, yeah.
Yeah. They don't not because of they were young and they wrote songs. Hanson they leveraged their entire, and this is for Rockstar 101 music shit, all right? Forget about whether or not music like the style. They had legions of fans when they had legions of fans. People think like, oh, okay, so they're wash-ups and has-beens. They're making more fucking money than anyone in the business right now because they got the email list. They were the first email list band when kids were first started emailing each other, and they collected the email list and the mailing list. They have got millions of emails of people of girls, mostly obviously, who grew up listening to Hanson, and they just released their music to their fans now, and they collect 100% of the revenue. And that's why you don't hear when Hanson drops a new record, or if you happen to go to Mbop in a playlist of old 90s hits and you go, oh, check out the artist, suddenly they've released all this music. It's because, and they are crushing it. They were smart. They were so smart when they were I remember talking to Isaac one time. He came out to a show. I wish I hadn't gotten so drunk because I can't remember more of the conversation. But we were hanging out and I was like, what are you working on? What's going on? He told me this. He was like, we don't deal with any of that bullshit anymore. We just make the music for the fans and then we sell out shows. We're playing theaters. We're not playing stadiums now, but we're selling out theaters, every country in the world. And I was like, dude, I had the big hit at the moment. When we were having the conversation, I had the hit. I was like, my song's fucking #1. But you're getting paid. I'm supposed to be the guy who everyone's talking, but you're the one collecting, you're actually making the money. I wasn't making the money. I was on a contract where the usual record bullshit. On the contract, everyone else takes the money. So it was just really eye-opening. So that's why now I got no problem being the guy at the party that puts on a Hanson song. Be like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you say. And then I'll start this round I used to love this song. Why'd you put this on, Shim? I thought you were hard. Man, you want to talk hard? Hanson owns real estate. They own planets. Fucking Hanson rocks. Fuck anyone that disagrees with me. I don't give a shit.
That's actually a really good transition here because we'll get to the Hanson quiz at the end of this episode. But this leads right into one of the questions that we got on social media from Lee Johnson. And they're asking advice on management for up-and-coming bands, when to know when they've got good interest of the band at heart or not. So obviously this
Ouch.
question's more for you because I don't play an instrument and I've never been in a band. Oh no, I take it back. I was in what was the video game Rock Band? I was in a rock band called Moist Funk.
Moist Funk?
Yes. And then that group broke up, and then there was a secondary band that I was in called King Richard? No. Something shit.
King
Richard
Dick
the
the Third?
Lionheart? Something?
Okay.
No, and the Shades of Glory. I can't King Dick and the Shades of Glory.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's stories behind both of those.
Oh, I want to hear those stories. Should we do the stories or should I answer the question? Because I think there is a definitive answer. There is a very definitive answer to this question. How do you know if the manager has your best interest at heart? If the manager agrees to take a percentage of net, then he has your best interest at heart because your interests are now his interests or her interests. If the manager takes a percentage of gross, they may have your best interest at heart. They might be that sort of person, but it automatically puts a situation in play where you go, well, they don't need to worry about overheads. They don't need to worry about how much certain things cost and what the return on investment is. Because they're
getting their money first.
They're getting a percentage of gross. The money comes in, they take their percentage, and then they give you the rest to pay the bills. If they take a percentage of net, the money comes in, the bills get paid, then they take their percentage.
Then they get paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then well, they're definitely going to be paying attention to how much we spend, how much we make, everything to do with how the business is run. I don't know many managers that take net. Maybe if you're an established band, and you're making money from the beginning and a manager comes in, you can leverage and say, you're going to be taking a percentage of net. And the manager goes, cool, because I know there's money in the net. But if you're starting, what you're effectively doing then, it does, don't get me wrong, there's two other points to this argument. It is not as simple as, go to the manager and say, well, no manager is going to sign a net deal. No manager is going to sign a net deal. It's not going to happen. And you can't blame the manager for not signing a net deal because they're going to go, well, you're the biggest gamble there is. I love your music. I want to represent you, but I'm effectively working for free. I'm not the idea of work. And also it's just the industry standard. There is no managers that work for net. So no manager is going to agree to net. Because it's now the industry standard is gross, and it makes no logical sense when you think about it. You go down the rabbit hole. I won't go down the rabbit hole, but in any other form of business, when you have a partnership or you own a company, you pay the bill. People who are involved in the business, they pay the bills before they take profit, right? You can't take profit before the bills are paid. You have to take care of the business if you're a partner in the business. If someone takes a commission from a part of it, then especially from beforehand, then they're not really a member of the business. They're an employee of the business, or they're a outside contractor. They're someone who you hire. And so at that point you go, cool, then they're one of the bills. They're an overhead that needs to be paid. So it would make sense to go, well, shouldn't you pay the manager however much money per month, put them on a salary? But that's also not how it works. And if you find a manager that'll work for just a flat fee, you can bet they're going to suck, and they're also not going to have any incentive. They're not going to have an incentive. They're going to be like, well, I get $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month.
No matter how much work I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's really more about, do I put in enough hours as opposed to do I get results? So you need to incentivize a manager. The best way to incentivize it, the funny thing is that the best way to incentivize a manager, and I've seen some people who become investors in bands, they say, I will invest in your band, I will put in money, and then they also kind of half manage them. But they say, I am now a member of the band. I am a member of this company, and now I do take net. Because that's kind of the fairest way to go about it, to say, okay, we're going to make the manager a member of the band, and then you go, cool, then you're in, okay, if there's 3 people in the band and a manager and you all take 25% of net, now at least you can walk forward and go, there's clarity. And we can, it's just logical. You're going to have to make the right decisions for the whole because everyone gets an equal part of it. The problem then is managers are managers because they're not creative. but you put them in a position where they get to choose songs and they can change lyrics and they can do this and that. There's no real fucking easy way to go about it. It's really weird. So, when it comes to, what was the question? What was the question specifically? Because I want to try to give a
advice on management for up and coming bands. When to know they've got basically your best interests at heart or not.
There's no way to know. There's no way to know. There really isn't a way to know specifically. The only way to know for a band is to go forward with a manager for a period, and everyone has to work on faith at the beginning. You go forward, you work on faith, and then you try to get enough pieces of evidence to go, this person is going to do the right thing for the most part. Like, you're going to do that. But man, I'm a pessimist and a fatalist. So I'm always like, people are cool until they get the opportunity to fuck you over. And every once in a while, like you and me and Jamie, a handful of other friends are like, I know that when push comes to shove, if money was involved, they would actually turn the money away and say, I value the friendship more than I value the money. But most people, there's a lot of people who I thought that about, and then
take the money.
Was proven wrong once the money's in the situation. So when you talk about how do you know when a manager's got their best interest at heart, the truth is that the manager's the same as any person in real life. In music, your career, everything boils back down to real life and relationships. The person's going to have your best interest at heart until they need to have their best interest at heart. And I've seen it cut every different type of way, in every unfathomable, no way someone did that. Yeah, yeah, they do it. They do. And you're talking about, you want to have a relationship with a manager, it's the same as having a relationship with a band in certain ways. You can be working with them for 2 years or 20 years, and shit comes up that you'd never think. And that's why I work alone now.
Well, as long as it works, I guess, is really
it does
all
work
that
now.
matters,
It does work now. But yeah, in terms of how do you know, you don't know. You have to just move forward with the best faith. The most important thing is, number one, keep your eyes open at all times. Don't turn your eyes away from things that come up that go, oh, it probably won't become that. Fucking pay attention.
Because it's going to come up.
It's going to come up again. It never doesn't come up again. It always comes up again. And then get a good lawyer. You know that your lawyer always has a lawyer is more likely to have your best interest at heart, because they get paid specifically to protect you. That is the one person where you go, they are being paid specifically to protect me. They're getting a fee to negotiate the contract and to fight against that guy over there. That's get a fucking lawyer as often as you can afford it, and do everything you can to get a real good lawyer and have him involved as often as possible for your interest. Not even the band necessarily, for just like one person's selfish interest, and then you can go, cool, that person's fighting for you. And then the rest of the time you just got to have faith and be really aware and educated. And that's the answer. It
almost kind of sounds like you're saying go into it with an open heart, but your head on a swivel. Like, you need to be willing to accept people, but you still have to keep them at a particular distance almost.
You do for a period of time. You have to keep everyone at a distance for a period of time, like any relationship. Because and that's not being like, oh, everyone's going to hurt me. That's just like how relationships work. You don't meet someone on the first night and go, let's get married. You get to know a motherfucker. So you
you got to date.
Yeah, you got to date. So you date for a while. And, you know, the best thing that you can usually do is, when it comes to dating someone who's like a manager or in a band, I'll tell you, you know what? I'll tell you, this is one good piece of advice. Pay attention to how long it takes the other person to bring up what their cut's going to be. Because if they bring it up in the second date, then you know they're just after the money. If they don't bring it up for a long time, then you're like, well, is this person really professional, or are they scared to bring it up, or are they devaluing themselves or overvaluing me? But if they bring it up at the right time, where they're like, hey, okay, we've done this, this, and this. We're about to embark on a record deal. So this is now getting into serious territory. I'm going to have to put on my professional hat. Let's talk about what our situation is. And then you just have to roll with what comes up. But really pay attention to when someone brings up the splits. That's really important.
So, well, the interesting thing is, it's your answer pretty much kind of wraps around, well, you just need to know when.
Yeah, same as any relationship, but you never know when.
Yeah, but and that's where like answers like that are really difficult for me, because I am, in some aspects, I'm really good at reading people because I follow patterns. But once somebody breaks from that pattern, or if it's not a pattern I recognize, I am a blithering idiot when it comes to that.
Really?
Like, that's one thing that has popped up frequently in my life when it comes to relationships, or not being able to tell if this girl over here actually liked me or not, because I didn't know. Like, I always assumed if anybody ever showed any interest in me, it had more to do with, well, they're playing a prank on me. I'm that geeky, nerdy kid that they're giggling about behind my back, and there's no actual interest here. And I'm still like that to this day. Like, my wife flips me shit because it took 5 dates for me to kiss her.
Wow. I didn't know you were such a pussy.
Well, but here's the thing. I had gone in for kisses on other dates, or with, earlier dates than that, and it didn't work out. Or it was almost like, like I got a really weird vibe from that. And when it came to my wife, I knew early on the first date, like, this is probably the one. Like, there's something special about her. Like, there's something here that I haven't felt with anybody before. And we're going through the process. And the one thing I absolutely didn't want to do was scare her off. Right. And for me, in my head, it was, well, just take it easy the whole time. Not realizing, oh shit, you're starting to, like, you're almost pushing her away by not acting on any of this, or by not doing anything. She texted me after one of our dates, and she was like, hey, so when am I going to get that first kiss? And I was like, am I that much of an idiot? Yeah, I am. Yeah. Because I, like, in my own brain can come up with all different sides of the argument. And when it comes to something like that, I'm probably going to make the wrong decision. And thankfully it didn't bite me in the ass. And, and we were able to, we're married, happily married now, 2 years later. Well, married for 2 years, 4 years after the fact. Yeah. But that was something that even she doesn't quite grasp about me, where she's like, how do you know that person didn't like you? Or how do you know that person, like, how did you not pick up on that? I'm like, I don't see that. Like, I don't, like, that's not something that I pick up on. For some reason, that's never something I never did. Right. And that was always.
Do you want to know the answer to that?
Answer to what?
Well, there is something that'll help crack the code on a lot of the stuff that you said, and this applies to a lot of people.
You're gonna tell me now that I'm 40 and married? Thanks, dude.
No, it applies to every relationship. It really does. It applies to every relationship. And do me a favor. Go ahead and pull your blinds down a little bit. You're getting a massive flare from the. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. It's really hard to apply to your life because it makes it so simple that people want to not do it. They're like, but if it's that simple, then I have to make an immediate decision and I have to stick to it. And it's like, if it's that, then I have to live that way. And they're used to living the other way, which is where you think and you procrastinate, and then your options are open, and then there is hope. I'm serious. We're about to be real for a second. The reason that people don't do this particular thing is because it eliminates hope from a lot of situations, and people prefer to have hope, even if it's ignorant and it's denial. Mm-hmm. And the nugget of information is you never really, truly, ever know when it's right. But you know when it's wrong. You can feel it. Mm-hmm. So if you feel it and you go, this doesn't feel right, that means it's wrong. That means if you're in a situation with a guy, girl, an elder person, younger person, whatever it is, and you're like, do I want to invest in this relationship for whatever I'm trying to get out of it, whatever's going to collaborate, whatever's going to happen here on any level, you feel when it's wrong. You're like, this doesn't feel something. That means it's wrong. That means it ain't going to work. Because even if the other person is, it doesn't matter what they bring to the equation. If you're not in, then that means it's wrong. So that means that you should stop. And then
it's so funny. It's so funny hearing that from you, because I think I've told you this before, where I ended a fairly long-term relationship. I don't want to say because of the video for Odd One, but that almost confirmed it, because it was to the point we'd been together for, I think, like 3 years or something like that. And things just didn't feel right. Yeah. Like I wasn't with somebody that I should be with, like you're saying, you may never know when it's right, but you know when it's wrong, yes. When things aren't feeling right. Yes. And I remember sitting in my office. I remember watching the video, and that video where it's the two people, they like, the one girl has these, this basically a superpower is what it is, that can kill things or cause damage. And she finds the person who's willing to help her with that. They're the odd ones together, and he's willing to be there to help her to help her through that. And as I remember watching that video, and I was like, Dad, she's not it. Like, she's not my odd one. Like, there's like, that's it. And that's what led to the eventual breakup, which was, not far down the road.
Yeah, and that's the best thing that could have happened, because now you've got the life that you have now.
I found my odd one.
Yeah, you found your odd one. And it does. It applies to everything. And it comes with management. Going back to the question of bandmates, management, whatever it is, 95% of the time it will be wrong. And you have to eliminate that circumstance from your life to make space for the 5% of the time when it's right. Otherwise, you won't find it. And that's a hard thing to do. Mm-hmm. It's really hard for someone to look at the situation and go, I need to end this. Or at least completely flip it. Like change the dynamic of the relationship. And people can't accept that shit. They cannot accept it. Mm-hmm. It's really hard. But if you do it, if you just do it, it opens your life up to all these new things. You just have to, you really do. You just have to fucking do it. You just gotta do it.
Do it, eh?
You just gotta fucking do it.
Well, thank you to Lee for the question. Again, if you want to hit us up on our social medias, we are always welcoming messages, or you post something on Shim's wall, or hit him up on Twitter or something if there's a question or a comment that you want. Also, I got to remind you about the beard struggle.
Are you gonna run? You gonna run this? Okay, you run the ads. I'm gonna do a pee break for 30 seconds while you do that. Go ahead and run that thing.
For Christ's sake. Okay, I will then do this as Shim's walking away. He has to go to the bathroom because apparently he didn't realize that he should have gone to the bathroom before we started recording this. But if you look at the beard, the majestic beard, it's fairly well trimmed up. I did that for the wife. She wasn't liking how long that thing was getting. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hi. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you can always zip on over to YouTube, to Shim's YouTube channel if you want to check out the actual video of this. And if you like the beard that I'm rocking, if you want something similar, if you're looking for beard products, whether you have a beard, your husband has a beard, your boyfriend has a beard, whoever it is, if they have a beard, that thing needs to be maintained and it needs to be handled. And it's the beard struggle. And so that's their products. It's the beard struggle. They've got oils, they've got conditioners, they got shampoos. It's some of the best stuff I've ever used. It is actually the best stuff that I've ever used, which is why I'm willing to promote it and talk about it. So if you want to go to the beard struggle, order up whatever you're thinking that you might need, and then use the code Brandalorian at checkout, and you're going to get yourself a nice little discount. And that's perfect timing for Shim to come back.
Yeah.
So we can now talk about Moist Funk and King Dick and the Shades of Glory.
Okay, are we talking about that? What about the Hanson thing?
We got the Hanson quiz coming up. That's going to be real quick. That's just going to be a few minutes. We're not going to go too far down the rabbit hole.
Now let's talk about
that one.
Good.
So this was right when the game Rock Band was going to come out. And remember, Rock Band, the selling point when that first came out was that you could create a band. It wasn't just Guitar Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Guitar Hero was just a guitar.
Yeah.
Rock Band, you had drums, you had a microphone. And I was telling all my friends, hey, I'm going to get Rock Band and we're going to create a band. We have to come up with a name. And you could create your own characters and everything. And I didn't even own the game yet. But this was a really weird time because I had gone to a Stone Sour show, phenomenal show, and it was the night I got sucker punched in downtown Fort Lauderdale and had 11 stitches put in my eye.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta stop you. I'm sorry, man. I gotta stop you. This is it's been glitching out a couple of times, and now it's glitching out fully. So we're gonna have to edit it. We're gonna have to edit it because it's gonna stop for a couple of minutes. We need to jump over to Zoom. So let's jump over to Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't know why it's doing it, but it's the second time. So let me just do this. All right, I'm going to keep recording, so it'll all be the one file, and then you can just snip and do that. I'm going to text you through Facebook the Zoom link, and then we'll do it on that, because for some reason Skype's just being a bitch. Bye.
That's fine. All right, bye.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, we're back. Excellent.
Wow, you sound a lot different on Zoom.
Yeah, you sound better on Zoom. I don't know why we weren't doing it. We just force a
habit. Let's just do Zoom then from here on. Why do we keep doing Skype?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exactly right.
I know, I'm right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so there we're back, and now, it's definitely really that face.
I'm not editing any of that stuff, by the way. I'm keeping all that shit in.
Okay, because I talked so much shit on you in between the call, dude. That's really annoying. You don't realize the audio plus this. People just have stopped watching the podcast.
Nah, what are you talking about? They want to hear that. They want to finish the story about Moist Funk.
They want to get to the Hanson trivia. Okay, go for it. Tell me now.
Okay.
Moist Towelette.
Okay, so Moist Funk, basically, quick recap, went to a Stone Sour show, got sucker punched, had 11 stitches to close my eye up because I just split it wide the fuck open. So I was concussed, obviously. And we were hanging out at the pool the following morning. I was on painkillers, all kinds of loopy drugs, didn't sleep the night before, got fresh stitches in my eye. And I went on this rant about funk. And I don't even remember what the rant was, but I went on this rant, and one of the people we were hanging out with was like, ugh, I hate that word. Like, people, there's just words that they don't like.
Yeah.
So funk was one of those words. And another person chimed in, they go, yeah, it's like the word moist. That word is just disgusting. Moist and funk. And I was like, oh, and then I just had this epiphany. And I'm like, dude, that's the name of our band. And everybody was on board. And they're like, oh my God, we are going to be in a group called Moist Funk.
That is true. That's how band names come up.
That's how it is. It was Moist Funk. And so this was my friends down in Florida. Like, it was my roommate at the time and a couple of our friends. And then fast forward to a couple of my buddies coming down from Portland. And we were at this bar down in Miami watching the NBA playoffs. And there was this dude that had his dog. And the dog was shaved like a lion.
I love where this story's going.
His dog was shaved like a lion.
It's got the
mane. It's got the little ball on the end of the tail, everything. And somebody asked him, hey, what's your dog's name? And he goes, oh, that's King Richard the Lionheart. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And if you just called the dog King Richard or anything short of King Richard the Lionheart, the guy got upset. No, the dog's full name is King Richard the Lionheart. So then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, well, we're going to play rock band later. We got to incorporate that into the name somehow. Like, that's got to be our band name. So then later on that night, we're out hanging downtown Fort Lauderdale, and I'm like, you know what? I want to be as Florida as possible. We need to buy some douchebag sunglasses, man. Like, and there's a kiosk there in the middle of the bars where we were at. I'm like, go pick out just the stupidest looking glasses that you can find, and that's it. And that's where we're going to wear them the whole rest of the trip. You guys are here, and we're going to look like idiots. We're going to try to look like as big of douchebags as we can. And I don't even remember how I came up with it, but I remember holding them and go, these are the shades of glory. And that was the sunglasses. It was the shades of glory. So then when we were creating our rock band, it was King Dick and the Shades of Glory. And that was our second band. My second band, I should say.
That was the second band? What was your first one?
The one was Moist Funk.
Oh, no. So I thought they were together. Got it. Okay.
No.
That is a history of band names, dude. That's awesome.
It's how it all happens. It's how it goes down, my man. So those are your stories about King Dick and the Shades of Glory and Moist Funk. So on that note, are you ready?
Oh, I was born ready.
Are you ready?
Born ready.
So there's only 5 questions to this one, and I don't know how. What, you wanted more?
No, I was just making a joke. Like, I'm sure everyone else is like, really, Hanson?
We waited for this.
Let's just get through this.
See, the one thing we want to do is we're trying to make it so that we can do a quick trivia at the end of every episode. Whether it's been me giving it to Shim so far. Eventually, we'll get to the point where he's able to quiz me because he bombed that Simpsons quiz.
Did anyone else catch that? Yep.
What?
You giving it to me?
Oh, God. Oh, phrasing? Are we
no one else.
phrasing?
You didn't catch that phrasing. You normally catch the phrasing straight away. It was like, normally it's me giving it to Shim. And then there was a pause, too. There was a pause for a breath of, but this time, he'll be giving it to me.
He can give it to me.
Yeah, phrasing. All day long.
Are we doing phrasing?
Everything you can't get on the Hollywood Rebellion and KLAQ, come to Rockstar 101 to watch me just give it to Shim.
Give it.
All right, let's do the quiz.
For any Archer fans out there, it's phrasing. All right, so here we go. Question number 1 in regards to Hanson.
Okay.
What are the names of the 3 Hansons?
Zach, Isaac, and Taylor?
Zach, Isaac, and Taylor. Let me see here. You are correct, sir.
Yes. Oh, good. I haven't thought about that for 20 years.
Well, you didn't have to think about it. Who is the oldest member?
Isaac. I can't believe I know this.
I think that, there you go.
Yeah. No, I know it's Isaac.
We talked about it earlier. That's his birthday. It is November 17th.
Yeah.
All right, next question here. Finish these lyrics. See, I don't know if you're going to be... Well, maybe. Goodbye, 4-leaf clovers.
Oh, is it a multiple choice?
Do you want me to give you all the choices?
Hold on a second. So, one more time. Goodbye, 4-leaf clovers.
Goodbye, 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah, you're gonna need to give me the multiple choice, but I'll probably rock it off the multiple choice.
All right, there's 5 options. Here we go. Option 1, Suddenly the sky is falling. Option 2, and they're gone so fast. Option 3, when everybody's coming unglued. Option 4, hello gone awry. Or option 5, and we won't go down.
Oh, and what's the opening lyric? What's the first line? Hello,
Goodbye, four-leaf clovers.
Okay, and what's the second option?
The second option was, and they're gone so fast.
That one.
He's sticking with that one.
I think it's that one.
No, a big old buzzer.
Okay, which one was it?
It is goodbye, four-leaf clovers, hello, gone awry.
Okay, cool.
You're going to have to incorporate that in the song.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah. I actually thought that hello, gone awry made perfect sense, and I thought that was the trick one. But because I remember... Yeah.
This next one's a fill in the blank.
Ah, okay, cool.
You say you want to blank.
Is this a multiple choice?
No, it's just fill in the blank. You say you want to give it to me.
You say you want to give it to me. Give it to me now. It's a little James Brown in there. A little bit. They were influenced by James Brown. Just be like, give it to me, cha.
This is going to be the thumbnail for the video on YouTube.
Give it to me. Give it to me. You say you want to... I don't know why love me. Love me? It's not that, though.
I'll do it.
You say you want to love me.
You say you want to love me. Phrasing. Nope.
What is it?
Oh, there was actually 3 different options.
Oh.
One of which did include love.
Okay.
The 3 options that would have been correct is you say you want to fall in love. You say you want to marry me. And then the third, fairly dark option, especially for a band like Hanson, you say you want to kill yourself.
Kill yourself.
Yes.
I think it's kill yourself, right?
No, those all 3 would have been acceptable answers.
Oh, because they have those.
That was it. Yeah,
they're all from the same
all
song.
3 of those were somewhere in one of the songs. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go. The 5th question. What record label is Hanson with, and what does it stand for? There's lots of options here. You ready?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Quick question. Does it clarify what label they're on now, or the one they started on? Because it'll be their label now.
Well, I would imagine it's probably going to be their label because it's one of the options is Hanson Brothers Studios.
Yeah. So okay, go through the things.
So option 1 is WLM Records, We Love Music Records, HBS Records, Hanson Brothers Studios, WTL Records, Where's the Love, OTT Records, Over the Top, or 3CG Records, Three Car Garage.
Dude, it's a total shot in the dark, whatever I do.
Fire away.
I think it's going to be more obscure, so, what were the last 2?
Over the Top or Three Car Garage?
I think it's Over the Top.
You go with Over the Top?
Yeah.
I was going to go with Three Car Garage.
I was going to go with Three Car Garage. I think it's one of those 2. But I'm going to...
You want to stick with Over the Top?
I'm going to go with Over the Top. You go with that one, because you're quizzing 2. Go. Which one is it?
Oh, and it was Three Car Garage!
Fuck! Damn it.
Damn it. I know Hanson better than you. Doo-da.
You don't know Hanson better than me. Fuck you too. That's the intro to the that's the intro to the Facebook thing.
By the way, I found a story from Isaac Hanson where he claims that COVID-19 is part of the government's plot in a war on Christmas.
A war on Christmas?
Yeah.
A war on Christmas. Hanson wages a war on Christmas. Now that's a Christmas special.
No. He's not waging the war.
No, I know, but the fact that he even brought it up. Imagine if Hanson waged a war on Christmas. We're gonna out Christmas. If anyone can do it, it's fucking Hanson.
He posted this on Instagram. It says at some point very soon, Christians and churches, and for that matter, anyone of any faith, is going to have to decide is your faith is more important than your fear. We are quickly approaching Christmas, and it too will be canceled by our governments, just like Easter was and Thanksgiving is being suggested to be. I, for one, will not comply. I fear God more than I fear death, and far more than I fear my government.
Who wrote that?
Isaac Hanson.
Fucking hell, Isaac. That's a little fucking heavy on the political train from Hanson. I didn't know they'd gone full Taylor Swift.
Well, apparently so.
Jesus, I gotta follow. What was that on his Instagram or his Twitter?
Yeah, and his Instagram is just Isaac Hanson.
Okay, I'm gonna look up. I haven't looked up Isaac for a while. I think he's.
This
is what happens. You know what, man? This is what happens when you get fuck you money. Hanson's got fuck you money, and they don't give a fuck. That's how they're swinging massive dick in the internet, and they can. Because what's anyone gonna say? Seriously, dude? Once you go back and play Umbop and go back to the '90s and be like, yeah, I got paid then. I'm getting paid now.
Let me go hop in my $100,000 car.
You can't fuck with Hanson. What are they going to do? They're being like, they get paid while they sleep. You can't fuck. They're going to be like, you can't say anything. That's why he tweeted that. I'm telling you, the reason I don't send out tweets like that, because I got bills to pay. He doesn't have bills to pay. He's getting paid. That backs up my entire argument. That backs up my whole argument of what I just said. Like, if the guy from Hanson can throw out a tweet like that's ballsy, he's paid. Made in the shade. Good on you, Isaac. Power to you. Preach, son. Preach.
It's not a government conspiracy, though. It's not.
It doesn't matter. The fact that he's swinging that dick is relevant.
Well, I mean, it's good. It's good in that sense, but I do have to just let people know, because here, and I don't want to get too political on this, but here in El Paso, our numbers are through the roof, man.
No, I know.
The biggest thing that we're battling right now is we have all of our officials are arguing about, do we lock down or do we not? Do we, not let people go out? Do we have to shut them down, or what are we doing? And when we were on the air this week, we were just telling people, dude, just fucking stay home. Yeah. If you don't need to be out, stay home, and hopefully the numbers go down. If anything that we've seen, I always hear this, they show that masks don't work, or they show that, mask mandates haven't worked, or anything like that. Well, yeah, if you go to a store and they require masks, you got to have your mask on. But that's not what's causing this gigantic spread. Some of the big spreads are happening because people are taking their entire fucking families to Walmart to go shopping for some strange reason. But then they're also having family gatherings of like 20 to 30 people. And then they're wondering why, oh shit, half the family's sick. I wonder what happened there. When it's simple, just stay home unless you need to go out. Wash your hands, keep your distance, and what was the other? And wear a mask. That's it. Like, just do those things and stop being a dickhead about it. Looking at you, Isaac Hanson.
Bring it.
Anyway. Well, I get a little fired up about it because I had to cancel.
Dude, this is why I told you to start a Twitch stream. You're making my argument for me. So for everyone who's paying attention, if you want to hang out with us before we start recording, you should sign up to my Patreon, which you can find at Twitch TV /Hollywood Rebellion. Go follow that channel and you'll get a link to the Patreon where you can come and hang out with us and get all this stuff. Before we were doing this podcast, I was talking to Brandon about how he needs to start his own Twitch stream so that he can rant and rave as much as he wants about his political shit, because that's his jam, right? And like sometimes,
but that's not even. Look, it's not even necessarily. It's big time political right now, just because of the election. I've been knee deep in it. I've been watching nothing but news. It's bugging the hell out of my wife. But I'm not always like that. It's just that's kind of top of mind right now.
It's like when the Olympics.
No, it is. It's every 4 years.
Exactly. When the Olympics come around, everyone
midterm elections don't count, by the way.
Yeah. Everyone forgets how into javelin they are when the Olympics start. And then 4 years go by.
The butterfly stroke. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then when the election comes up, you get all into politics, and then you get back on with your life. I get it.
Right. Well, yeah. So anyway, you know what? I'll look.
Do it.
You can find me.
Just do it.
Again, the screen name is The Real Brandalorian. You can find me on Reddit. You can find me on Instagram, and that's also my handle over on Twitch.
Yeah.
So maybe coming up. Look, if you want me to.
Maybe. Seriously, why are you still talking like this? Just do it.
I'll do it. Well, how do I get people who watch you? How do I get them to follow and watch?
I'll do it for
you. Things we need.
I'll do it for you. I will literally do it for you. Okay, I'm gonna be streaming in an hour after this. Okay. Come and hang out on my stream for 1 minute and go, "Hi, I'm Brandon," and I'll go, "Hey guys, there's Brandon. Go follow him," and then you'll watch your computer go. That's it, and then start streaming and stop being a little bitch about it.
I can't hang out on your Twitch. I gotta go hang out.
Oh my God! Anything except an excuse. Can you just say?
What? What do you want?
I want you to say, yes, I am going to start streaming next week. I will find half an hour and make it happen.
When should I do it?
Oh my god, I don't care. Make it work in your life. Just do it. See, look at the shit that I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Not once have I heard the words, I'm going to do that next week. I'll find time and let you know.
I'm going to stream this week.
There we go. All right. His name is Brandon. He's the DJ.
His name is Shim. He's the rock star and the motivator.
Oh, yeah.
Class dismissed.
Damn right. God damn right.